step. Milk and honey, milk and honey. I don't kneel, I won't yield. Low light, no sight, tunnel zeal. Silk and money, silk and money.
Me being black, Haitian, and a woman is no excuse not to say yes to Jesus. Like, Jesus made sure, like, I had no more excuse because he was the one validating me, calling me, and confirming my calling. So I mean, it's been such a beautiful journey to now, like talking about after saying yes to Jesus, I have such a love for culture, not just mine, but others. Because I'm called to invite people. All of you guys have a place at the table. And the journey that God brought me through of healing my ethnic identity is the reason that I moved to Miami. I would have never been able to survive a place like Miami, being majority Latino, if it weren't for God healing my ethnic identity. I think that this conversation is really important for you as individuals, but for us as an area, as a people, this conversation is really important, and it looks different than what my experience was because I was in a white majority context and felt like I'm just going to be white because I look white, and that was the easiest thing to choose. The context in Miami is majority Latino, so 60%. So what that means for everyone else is that that's the pressure that we're gonna feel like we have to assimilate to, that we have to be more Latino, or we have to try to speak Spanish. How many of you who are Haitian have had to learn how to speak Spanish or have picked up some Spanish? Yeah, yes, yeah. So, but how many of you who are Latino have tried to speak Haitian Creole?
Me, I've tried.
Good.
Because of InterVarsity.
Before InterVarsity.
I love you.
Before InterVarsity. Yeah. So this is the thing, like when I was at MDC as a staff, I saw like every Haitian student was like, oh yeah, I speak Spanish. I'm like, how do you speak Spanish? Well, because I live in Miami, I have to speak Spanish. I'm like, okay. But the Latino students did not care about learning to speak Spanish. And I use this as an example, not to shame anybody here, but just to say that if you are not Latino, then you're gonna feel the pressure to try to assimilate to Cuban culture or whatever the predominant culture is in your particular neighborhood.
I didn't necessarily like care in the beginning, not in like a bad sense, and more like a sense of like I just see all people as equal, and that is still kind of there because it's not like I don't feel anyone's better than the other. We all have our own different thing, but now I have a greater appreciation for it.
At first, I thought I didn't have a culture. I'm African American. I thought I didn't have a culture, not at all. But since I didn't really look into my culture, I was just like, I don't really have one. But now that I've talked to people or spoke to people about it, they really they're opening up my mind to that not only that I have a culture, but it doesn't really have to be what people think culture is. Y'all know what I'm saying? It could be based off your religion or just certain things you do on a daily basis. It doesn't really have to be something specific. So yeah.
So for us, this Meta Weekend has been about stepping more fully in partnership with this Latino-led multi-ethnic church, stepping into that kingdom reality, right? That we are all serving the same God, and that we can partner together to see his kingdom advance.
We're looking for the special cards.
Buscamos por las comodines.
Look at me.
Mírenme.
Because we think
Porque pensamos
what our friends and neighbors
que nuestros vecinos y amigos
put on social media,
ponen en los medios,
Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and whatever other phenomena.
y todo fenómeno.
We think that's their real life.
Pensamos que eso es la vida real.
That's not their real life.
Eso no es la vida real.
They're putting the best of them forward.
Ponen lo mejor de ellos al
And that's
frente.
okay. I'm not against that.
Está bien, no estoy en contra de
But
eso.
don't believe the hype.
I think this morning the pastor was saying there's no condemnation. This conversation is not just so we can confront each other. It is for restoration, right? It's for reconciliation. So I do want to say, those of you guys who are white in the room, or it's gonna, even for us, we have to learn to love our white brothers and sisters too, because understanding the enemy is the enemy.
So come and have your way. You're the one I want.
We're just leaving Meta now. You just had an awesome time. What's your thoughts right now?
Listen, Meta is very transforming. It's really looking into what does the Bible say about diversity in the heart of God. And really, in a nutshell, in conclusion, it is just God's creativity. Our differences is a beautiful thing to embrace.
What's your thoughts? How you feeling after the conference? How you feeling? How you feeling?
It was lit.
It was lit?
Yes, it was a little too lit because I'm sweating.
Listen,
But
no,
That's
it was
what's
really
up.
good though. It was
yeah,
really good.
Meta was beautiful. It
That's
was
what's
great.
up. You happy you came?
Yeah,
I'm
it was
definitely happy I
a really
came.
different experience.
It was nice.
Yes.
An emotional roller coaster, but nice nonetheless.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know that's what Jesus is about. Jesus don't sugarcoat.
He a comedian, you know, he like
Nothing. He don't.
he like
Period.
And that's not who? Jesus.
Jesus.
Okay.
That's it.
We are hoping to bring the topic back for our next Bible study so that it just won't be a one weekend experience, because oftentimes we have that one weekend experience and we leave and we close that book. But I pray that that book would be open and that we will do a work through what we've learned here.